Frequent flyer flies, la 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 la. Frequent flyer is back.
What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer. Welcome back to the channel. Smash the like button to show your support. And if you're new to the channel, I'd like to extend a warm welcome. Today is Wacky Wednesday, y'all. And so I have something a little different out here today. This time it's a build. This thing here is my Mobula7 1S. And this thing has been completely transformed. I actually dropped it on this CNC Stingray frame, and now it's in a Y4 configuration. Check it out. It looks a lot different from the Stingray's normal look, because you need to 3D print your own parts in order to complete the build of the Stingray. And so I had to improvise by using the original canopy from the Mobula7 1S. Actually, this is the canopy from the Mobula 6. I used the older one because it didn't have the screw point in the front. And this frame doesn't make for a spot to screw anything down in the front. And so I left that open there. And thus I used this canopy here. This is also the Mobula 6 camera there, because I found that the camera from the Mobula 6 performed better than the one on the Mobula 7 1S. And so I used the Beta FPV 1S frame in order to get this battery bay part here. I think I like it better this way than its original form, this frame that is. And so you can see I used the motors that I had from Beta FPV. These are the 22,000 kV 1102s, and these are the 45mm props. I'm a sucker for these odd looking frames and all, different configurations. Y4 in particular I love. I think I like the Y6 even more. Really curious to see how this guy flies out in the open. I did test it indoors to make sure it hovers and all, and it does hover. So without further ado, let's get this guy up in the air. Let's see, so hopefully everything works out. I'm going to start off with a smaller pack. I have 3 packs here. I have a 450 milliamp hour that I'm going to try first. I got a 520 and an 850. I don't think I showed you guys that I turned this sideways so that the battery goes in sideways here, so it doesn't get in the way of the propellers in the back. So let's slide this guy on, plug it up. Also no landing gear, so I just take off like this from the hand. Let's try to take off with it. So here we go. So we at least know it flies. I'm in angle mode right now. I was flying it in angle mode indoors. So it's flying pretty good. Okay, let's bring it in, get a good look at it. Check it out. So we're going to acro now. Let's try our first flip with it. Power loop. So this thing is flying pretty nice. Oh, not the trees. So I don't know what happened. I think a prop might have popped off of it. It seems like the monitor was recording, or is recording still, rather. Okay, looks like everything's still intact. I think it just went crazy because I hit the branch like that. See, yeah, we're still in the air. Okay, let's try some FPV with it, y'all. Back in acro mode. Do some FPV. Uh-oh. I had a fail safe with it, y'all. I got this antenna here all behind the monitor. Maybe that's what it was. Sheesh. So I did finally find this guy. And it turns out my antenna, the receiver antenna, must have fallen off. When I was on the table, it did come off, and I soldered it back, and I noticed now that it's missing. And so I have been trying to test it and all, and it's been falling out of the sky, you know, within a few feet. And so I really can't do any FPV with it. Hopefully that FPV did come out though, the little FPV that I did do. I guess I can fly a little line of sight with it, but just keep it close. But when I get home, I'm gonna have to solder a new antenna on there for its reception. So let's get this guy back in the air for some close-up fun. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Also, I was able to speed the rates up, turn the rates up a little bit, but for some reason, it's only working on angle mode, the speed change. See, I'm in angle mode now, and it spins pretty fast. But when I go into acro, look how slow the spin is. All the rates are super slow in acro mode. Let me bring it a little closer before this thing fail safes on me again. Check how slow it's turning over and all. Oh, going a little far. Let me get back over here. Yeah, so the rates are really slow. Guess I can cruise around up. And it fell safe on me again, so not too much fun to be had with it not being able to fly far. But I just wanted to show you guys this guy flying. Actually, let me put it in angle mode so I can fly it around a little more better and close, because I keep going too far with it. That's about the farthest I can go with it without it fail safing. Funnels with it. This little guy looks awesome if you ask me though. Check it out. I was going to do a big power loop, but I forgot that fast that this guy isn't really going to fly too far away. I don't want it to go up too high and fail safe on me. Let me see if I can go around this tree here without it fail safing. Looks like a little helicopter. Oh, it is a helicopter. What am I talking about? Quadcopters are helicopters. But you guys know what I mean. Whoa! Too far away. Let me get back. Couldn't really tell how the orientation of it, so I just bailed out with it. Skimmed the ground over there. Thought I was going to crash it. Let me get it up. So I think I'm going to end this flight now before I break this thing or something. This little motor on the bottom seems like it's starting to get loose on me. I didn't Loctite any of the screws that I put in there. I did have a situation with it not working well. This bottom motor wasn't spinning when I initially finished the build, and I found out later that it was these little screws that I use. This little plate that they use to secure to these standoffs here to mount the motor is really thin, a lot thinner than the carbon fiber that's on the rest of the frame, and so those screws were a little too long. They were pushing up into the bottom of the motor, but thank goodness there is a little thank God there is a little plate there to block the screws from going up into the bottom of the motor once you get through the mount there. And so it didn't damage the motor, but it did cause some friction to stop the motor from spinning. And so that was the issue I was dealing with. I thought something was wrong with the motors. I swapped the wires around a bunch of times and everything. Ended up having to cut those little screws in there, and I actually lost one. It looks like one is missing in there. So I'm going to get this guy back to the bench and finish the build, get it a little more tidy and everything, and then you guys might see this guy again. My Mobula7 1S completely transformed to a Y4 configuration from CNC Drones called the Stingray. That's the name of this frame. Thanks for watching.